Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell in the upper right hand corner. Follow me on all forms of social media. Check me out at thatdrummerguy.com and enjoy the following presentation.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much for taking time to do this interview.
Yeah, no worries. My pleasure.
Oh, awesome. Well, of course, we're here to talk about the brand new second album from Sinsaenum, Repulsion For Humanity, which is coming out the 10th of August through earMUSIC. I've gotten the chance to be able to check this album out over the last 5 days or so, and I've really enjoyed what you guys have been able to do. I mean, with all the EPs and the last album that came out, I mean, it's amazing to see how much you guys can continue to progress in just a short amount of time. I mean, I love the style that's going on here, the songwriting. It feels so incredible where you guys are at right now.
Well, thank you very much for the kind words. I don't know what to say. Yeah, thank you. I mean, we just, I don't know. I mean, I write most of the music, but I guess I have enough anger and hatred within me to carry on writing and coming up with new ideas. I don't know, but yeah, thank you very much anyway.
Oh, not a problem. So with that, how did the writing process begin for the second album?
It's very hard to pinpoint exactly when, I guess, because I write music all the time. I think as soon as the first album, Echoes of the Tortured, was released, I think that's when I started to write new material. And then when we found out that we wouldn't be able to go on tour, I figured that we should put out an EP so that the fans would not forget about us, and we would put that out as a gift for them, thanks for waiting, and there will be an album soon, but here's a little something for you, so you can have something to listen to while we're still working. So I don't know, because some of the songs that ended up on the album, I think I started to write them before the EP came out, and some of the songs, like I said, I mean, basically I'm just writing music all the time, so it's very hard to I guess 2016, that's when I started to work on new songs for the Repulsion For Humanity.
And it's great to see that inspiration is still there too. I mean, it didn't get wiped out from the first album or the EPs or anything. I mean, it's just there's kind of like what you just said. I mean, there's enough collective hatred to be able to continue writing and have that inspiration for Sinsaenum.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Sinsaenum is that's what we say all the time. It's like an outlet, like a catharsis for all the negative feelings that we have. So we need Sinsaenum in our lives, so we don't commit murder or completely become insane. So I guess that's a good thing that Sinsaenum exists for us. So I mean, so far so good. I mean, to be honest, I don't think I have any songs ready for a third album. There will be a third album, but right now I think I gave everything I had for the new one, which is why the new one is long as well. I think it's over 60 minutes, but it made sense to put everything, because all the songs were good, and so we just put everything on one album rather than keep some material for next time. So I think it's better to that the album is just like a reflection of that period of time where it was created, because it's good to keep songs for the future, because that's what I've done for the first album in a way, because all the songs had been written over the course of 15 years or so. But I think it's also good to start from fresh and to be a picture of what the band is at the time. So that's what Repulsion is. Repulsion For Humanity is staying on, from 2016 to 2018, and we'll see how it goes for the next one.
And I couldn't help but notice when listening to the album that it kind of just mainly focused on one particular singer of Sinsaenum. And of course, when I was looking up at the press release, I noticed that Attila was not able to contribute as much as he wanted to due to other projects that he was a part of. Did that affect anything for you at all when it came into the songwriting process, or did you just feel like Sean was able to continue on everything that Attila could have done for Sinsaenum?
It's hard to tell because I knew very early in the process that Attila was not going to be there, so I guess that sort of affected the way I was writing. But at the same time, the first album was written with only one singer in mind, and then all the songs, we can adapt. And one thing I know for sure, and now more than ever, is that Sean is very capable of coming up with like different vocal styles, and he's done an amazing job on the new album. So I don't know, because for people it might come as a surprise, just like, oh, where is Attila? But where is Waldo? But for us, it's more like when we started to record songs for Ashes, Attila came to Paris, and that's when we were talking about the schedule for the following 2 years, and that's when he told me that he was not going to be able to commit to the schedule that we had. So I said, oh, okay, do you want to, what does that mean? Do you want to out of the band or something? He said, no, I'm still in the band, but it's just that I won't be able to be here on time, but I think that the band needs to carry on anyway because there's a sort of momentum, so it would be stupid to wait for me. So just, you guys carry on, and I'll come back when I can. And so that's what happened, which is like for us very, that's the truth, and that's very easy for us to understand, but it can come as a surprise for some fans, I suppose. But he's still in the band, and Sean's been doing an amazing job, and I guess the songwriting carried on with like knowing that Attila wouldn't be there as much as we wanted, because he ended up being able to do some backing vocals in the end, whereas I thought he would be like completely out, completely unable to do anything at all. But he finally like wrote some lyrics and put these vocals here and there. So I guess what I'm trying to say is just like Sinsaenum is a sort of evolving monster, and there's always like ways to arrange things. If one singer is not here, well, Sean is just like doing an amazing job, so it doesn't really hurt the music. And then Attila could finally come back and do some backing vocals here and there, and so for us this is very very simple. But yeah, for fans it might come as a surprise or whatever. But just listen to the new album, and then they should be happy.
Oh yeah, and I'm definitely one of those people where I was, of course, a bit surprised that he wasn't able to contribute as much, but like I just said in the beginning of all this, it's just like I absolutely love where you guys are at right now when it comes into the songwriting and the production and the way everything was done. I mean, it just feels like such a complete Sinsaenum album, and when it comes time for the next release, when Till is able to contribute more again, I mean, it's just going to feel that much more full compared to what it already is.
Yeah, cool, man. Thanks again. I guess it's just like I don't know what the next album will sound like, but I guess, as you said, like it's an evolution, it's like a constant evolution. And the first one was more like how can I say? Looking back, I guess Echoes was like a demonstration of just like, hey, this is me from you might know me from Dragonforce, but I'm writing death metal as well, and this is like 100% perfect death metal. I mean, that's what I wanted. I wanted to have like the perfect death metal album that according to my codes and what I grew up listening to. But now there's no more rules with Sinsaenum. It stays in the same category because we wanna, we like it's about like negative feelings, hatred, and so I guess that's what the music, the lyrical content and the vibe demands that sort of music. But there's also no more rule as in like death metal has to be like this. We have like long, slow songs. We have like short, fast songs, and everything in between. And I guess which is cool because it still sounds like us in the end. So I am actually very interested in what the third album will be with Attila.
Yeah, and you just said it for me too. I mean, it's just I love that progression that's happened from the first album into this album, where it doesn't really feel like there is any rules in this band. I mean, you're able to have like those great singles like Final Resolve and Sacred Martyr, but you're also able to close out the album with one of my favorite songs on the album with Forsaken. I mean, it's a great 9.5-minute epic that really captures everything about the album, and it's great to see the versatility that's going on there and just continuing to write the music that you want to write.
Yeah, thanks. And I guess that was the idea. I think Forsaken is a perfect example of that, exactly, because it's a long sort of, progressive with orchestration. It's a long song, and then it ends up with like a long, very melodic solo, which is like completely the opposite of what the album has been, because the album is like, chaotic and violent and angry, and a song like Manifestation of Ignorance, for example, like I was slightly on purpose out of tune because I wanted to have like that sort of vibe of like uneasiness or whatever you call it, and that's what I wanted to bring. So and that song Forsaken, I think it was just nice to end up with like a long, very, very melodic solo, like as a last middle finger in the face of the listeners, so like, fuck you, kind of. I mean, I'm not saying like people who buy the album just like go fuck yourself. That's not what I'm saying, but it's just like, everything's been ugly, and then we'll fuck you again. You thought that we were just that, well then here we go. That's another like extremely melodic and absolutely not, death metal or more like, I don't know how to call that last part of the album, but to me, it was just like a last, middle finger, just like, well, fuck you again. So yeah, but something like that, Not that I'm that rude, but I guess it's just easier to explain it that way.
Oh yeah, and for someone like me that just appreciates when a band is able to try out different things, they're able to experiment even on the same album, let alone their entire career. I do appreciate that last little middle finger at the end, where it's like, hey, here's some stuff that you're not going to hear on the rest of the album.
Yeah, exactly. That's more like that. It's not like I'm not. It is a middle finger, but even for us, I think we were just like, some people were just laughing about it. It's just like, you can't put us in one box. You think like by the end you're like, oh yeah, they go there. Well, no, fuck you. Here's the, and then you don't. I think it's interesting to be like a sort of a fish, very hard to catch and hard to put in a box. So yeah, I guess that was the idea. And also because it's just like, it seemed very natural. I started to write the song like this, and I wanted to expand that very last part, as in like extremely melodic, and I didn't really, maybe like a half a second, I was just like, does that fit with the rest? And then I was just like, well, of course it does, because who gives a fuck, we put what we want, and that's at least, the album is just very, very honest. That's what I use all the time, but that's what we try to to bring honesty and within the music, and what we try to express.
Oh, absolutely. So with that said, I mean, obviously with the great range that's going on with this album, I mean, obviously you want to draw people in and be able to check out the album. Is that why Final Resolve and Sacred Martyr were chosen as singles for the album?
I guess the first one, I mean, it's just like, it was sort of obvious, because that was the song that everybody was sort of like humming, singing when I presented the new songs to everybody, to the band and the people around me. That's the one that people just like, keep in mind first, like dum, dum, da, 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 da. I was like, okay, there must be something with that song, and so we did the video for that, because I guess it was almost natural, and indeed that's how you wanna catch people. You just like because we were talking about fish, you catch the fish with some, you have to catch it with something, right? Like I don't know the word in English, but what you put at the end of the hook, So we, I guess that's what we try to do. We try to catch people's attention with something that's maybe easier for them to understand, and then once they hear, well, here's another fucking song in your face, then listen to Nuit Noire or Manifestation of Ignorance, which is like, it wouldn't do us probably any good to put that as a single, because it doesn't make much sense. Yes, a single has to be like catchy and like something that people want to come back and listen to. So Final Resolve was the obvious choice, and then Sacred Martyr wasn't supposed to be. I'm trying to remember as I'm answering your question, because it was definitely Nuit Noire is definitely the second video, and it's coming out in 2 weeks, I believe. So we were supposed to do these two, and then the reason why we chose Sacred Martyr as well is because it is a sort of like the same vibe as Final Resolve, but then it goes into like that blast beat, so people go like, oh yeah, it's still them, So we're not just like, we didn't become like a groove metal band overnight, That's not what's going on. So you've got the groove as well, but then you've got like that blast beat, and also there's Lauren from Once Human, which I think was just like something that I wanted people to pick up, and so that's why we came up with these two songs first. But yeah, Nuit Noire is coming next, and that one is completely different and way more evil than the first two that people heard. But I guess that's interesting because yeah, you get them to listen to the band, just like, oh wow, okay, so now I think I know what the new album is going to be like, and then they're going to listen to Nuit Noire and go like, oh, what the fuck? No, I was wrong. No.
And that's awesome to see that that's also going to be released as a single as well. And yeah, between those three songs, I mean, it gives you a little taste of what the album is going to be about. And you do get like an idea of where the band's at. But when you check out the full album, you see how everything fits in context, and you hear those different left turns. And especially when you get to the end of the album as well. I mean, of course, like we were talking about with Forsaken, you know, like that complete last turn that's going on there. I mean, it's great to see that, like I said, I mean, I'm glad to see that's going to be a third single before the album comes out.
Yeah, and I guess once the album is out, there should be like a fourth one that's out. I want to put the song "I Stand Alone" out there as well. So we're working on a lyric video again, which is a nice way, you know, like to put a song out without necessarily doing like a video that involves us, you know, with guitars again or blah blah. But we worked on that with some friends of mine, and they have like a t-shirt company called Hate Couture, which is like extremely evil, and it's dealing with serial killer and whatnot. And because the song "I Stand Alone" is about a serial killer as well, to me it made perfect sense to have them like, you know, do like pictures with bones and a lot of like creepy stuff. So I mean, I'm really looking forward to hear what people have to say about that lyric video. But it's in the making right now. But that's gonna be pretty cool. So yeah, also, and I guess that's basically what people do these days. You have to put like you can't just work with one video, so you have to put like a lot of stuff out there, you know, because there's a lot of bands out there as well. So if you want to be heard or noticed, I think it's necessary to have like more than just one or two videos. So which is why we're doing that as well.
And that's also a really cool thing as well, because you're able to do like the full-fledged music videos, and then you're also able to have these different kinds of lyric videos where you're able to create all these different ideas that maybe not necessarily would work in a full music video, or just like some ideas that might work better just as a lyric video with like concepts that's going on there. I mean, it's cool to be able to have that variation as well.
Yeah, it is, and I guess that's I don't know when those lyric videos started out. I guess I didn't really know about them until like, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. I think we had one with Dragonforce, so I didn't really know what they were. Someone mentioned like, oh yeah, let's have a lyric video. I was like, what's that about? But I think yeah, it's a nice way. It's better than just staring at the picture of the album and listening to the song. But so it's a nice way to like to have more than one sense in action, if you will. But yeah, so I mean that's for example, Sacred Mother. I think that's cool to have like teeth flying. I don't really see us doing an actual real video with like so many teeth flying or like a skeleton or whatnot. So yeah, like you said, it's just like it's a nice way of putting, you know, some ideas out there without like having to spend $100,000 for that.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of great imagery as well, you were able to get Travis Smith to be able to get his magnificent work part of the brand new Sinsaenum album. How does it feel getting his work on this album?
Well, it was great. I mean, we got in touch with him through Joey, because Travis has been working with Scarlet Martyr and Vimic, and so Joey, we were wondering, okay, what are we going to do for the next, for the cover? Are we going to put a picture of us? Are we going to use the guy who was used for Ashes, Maxime Tacardi? And we're like, okay, think. And Joey was like, hey, maybe we should ask Travis, he's a good friend of mine, and he'd be very happy to do it. And so he put us in touch, and I started to speak with Travis. And obviously I was, I was aware of what he had done in the past with, like, Nevermore or Death, so that was really cool to be able to work with him. And I saw a little, I went on his website and I saw a thumbnail of like a face greening. It was like extremely small, like the actual size of a thumb, so like a thumbnail. And I saw that, and I was just like, "Fuck, what's that?" And he was like, "Oh, that's something I started to work on, but never went anywhere." And I was like, "All right, that's what I want the album to be, the cover, the artwork. I want that, like a sort of green. So can we use that as a starting point?" And that's what we did. We just went back and forth, and I made something ugly that represents like the album, and just like Repulsion For Humanity with the green, just like fucking hate you all. So that's what I wanted to have as the main focus on the cover, and then have like little details in the back of like blood and murder and whatnot. But so that was cool to go back and forth with him. And in fact, he's been working on an artwork for Minoir, because that's going to come out as a sort of single, not an actual single that you can buy in a shop. Not that you have that many shops in the US anymore. Is it like Best Buy is not selling CDs anymore? Okay, you're there.
Yes. So, right before things got messed up there, you were talking about Travis doing some other artwork as well?
Yes. Okay, that's where we left it. Okay, he also been working on artwork for the song Nuit Noire, which we're gonna release as a video, and that's gonna be also like a sort of online single, if you will. So I wanted to have like an artwork for that song as well. And he's done an extra one, which we were supposed to use for Final Result, but we haven't yet. So we're gonna probably release that as a T-shirt. I don't know yet, but so we've been working together again, and that's great. It's just like I like his way of working, and he's an iconic painter or artwork designer in the middle. So that was great working with him.
Yeah, that's so cool to be able to see, not only getting the album artwork, but you're also going to be getting some single artwork out there as well from him, and just like keeping with the aesthetic for the album.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's nice because as a metal fan myself, I always like when the album comes out and it's got like the visuals helps you defining a bit better what the vibe or the vibe of the album and whatnot. So being French, when I had those albums as I was a kid, I did not understand all the lyrics. So to me, visuals were very important to give me like the vibe. Say for example, Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time. The album is futuristic because of the cover, no matter what the songs are about. To me, everything was like about, the future and fucking flying things, and the same with Power Slave. All the songs had to be about like Egypt and summer and sun, and even though that's not the case. So I guess, it is very important to help people, with visuals and help them understand what's happening. So that's why it was great to work with Travis, because he was able to understand our vision of the music and of the album, and transcribe this into an artwork, into painting.
So very cool. So, and speaking of that, just making sure that you can keep up with the rest of the interviews that are going on today. Thank you very much for taking the time to be able to talk to me about everything that's going on with Sinsaenum right now, and of course, talking about the brand new album Repulsion For Humanity, which is coming out August 10th through earMUSIC. Before we wrap things up, what do you got going on now that the album is coming out in a couple weeks? What's going to be coming up next for you?
Just so you know, we have time, because that's the last interview for me today. So if you have more questions, you can carry on. That's fine. Yeah. But so what's going on next? Well, like I said, the second real video is coming out, and the second lyric video coming out, and then we have a tour in Europe. Starts at the end of September. That's going to last a month. We're going to do Europe. We're going to do Russia. We have one show in Japan, Tokyo, that's been announced as well, and we're working on more, but it's obviously taking time. And I'm doing this, and obviously I have to do a Dragonforce as well, and start, working on the new album as well. So I've been pretty busy with music, but in the near super close future is tomorrow. I'm going on vacation with my wife for a couple of days, and that's great. Like a little I need to get out of music for a few days, otherwise I'm really gonna go insane.
Yeah, and it's so cool to be able to be in that position, just like looking on and just like knowing that you're able to play music like Dragonforce, but you're also able to turn around and be able to play music like Sinsaenum and be able to give both the proper promotion, love, and dedication that they both deserve. It's great to be able to see that you're able to play these two very different styles of music, but able to show that appreciation.
Yeah, well, I mean, to me, it's very natural. I don't know if it's natural for people to understand that, because everybody knows me for being the bass player in the power metal band. Power metal is about it's fun fantasy bass. It's mostly talking about fucking unicorns and seven seas and whatnot. So some people might have a hard time thinking that I'm also able to play guitar and that I am also into death metal, and they might think that this is not gonna be pure or whatever. And quite frankly, they can fuck off, because I've been playing guitar. Guitar is my main instrument, and death metal is my favorite style of music, and I've been listening to it for over 30 years or so. So what's interesting is just I sort of have to prove again. To prove myself again after establishing myself in one genre. It's like I have to start again from sort of scratch, because in people's mind, he's playing bass in power metal band. How can he be honest in doing death metal? And I'm very enthusiastic because I am completely that's the music I love, and I guess I guess it's funny because when for actors, for example, when an actor can be known as a comedian just doing comedies, and then he's gonna do a different style of movies, and it works, and people are more understanding for this. But in metal, it seems like you are in one box, and it's very hard for people to take you sort of seriously. Just power metal then means not pure death metal or whatever. So I read that every now and then, but I'm still very enthusiastic, and I hope that they're gonna give this album a chance and go okay, yeah, there's nothing to do with Dragonforce. Because I read some reviews as well, just like someone said, you can definitely hear that the guy plays in Dragonforce because you've got those solos, blah blah blah, which was complete bollocks. But so you can't help to that it's in people's mind that I play in that band, or that Joey played in a Slipknot, which had which was more mainstream. So therefore, they're gonna think that our music is mainstream, and even though it's not, they're gonna find anything they can to, this part is mainstream, so which is a bit dumb. So that's the reality of it. But with that being said, I don't really give a fuck again.
And that just makes me so happy to hear that. I mean, it's just I'm the kind of guy that just who can put on a Dragonforce album and then immediately put on a Sinsaenum album. It's just I love being able to hear all these different styles of music. Just sometimes it just fits the mood of what I'm listening to. Sometimes I want a different kind of musicianship that's going on. Sometimes just for the lyrical content, whatever the case is. It's just being able to have those different creative and eclectic tastes that are going on. It's just I think it's very healthy to be able to do that. And it's just when you get into a bigger band, sometimes you're not always able to have all these different outlets unless you just completely do it by yourself, and sometimes it's just a one-person operation. So the fact that you're able to push all of these bands the way that you are in all these different styles, it's so very inspiring.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I guess, to me, it's the same as a diet, for example. If you're eating red meat every day, that's going to get boring after a little while, and probably unhealthy as well. So, I like to have red meat, white meat, fish, eggs, whatnot. I'm not vegan. So to me, it's the same with music. I think it's interesting to be able to express myself, and I don't listen to death metal every fucking day, or I don't listen to, Iron Maiden every fucking day, and I guess people are the same. So if there's someone that just listens to fucking one side of music or just one band, then sorry, we're not for you. But other than that, it's if people with a little, a bit open-minded might give Sinsaenum a chance and enjoy it. But then again, like I said, it's not that important if they don't.
Oh yeah, I mean every person's different, and there's some people out there who can listen to one particular style and be able to have all this creativity that you might find other places, and some people are able to listen to all these different ideas and may never be able to come up with any creative ideas when they're coming up with their own music. So it varies on the person.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I don't, the what we say with Repulsion for Humanity is just like we don't like people. So I'd be very dishonest to now fish for everybody's compliment. Obviously, we want our music to work, and we want to be able to live with it and make some money, go on tour, and see people. But at the same time, fuck them all. If they don't understand our music, at least we are proud of what we achieved, and I guess our close friends and people around us are happy with it, which is to us the most important. Like I said, this the idea is like we're not looking for like a huge success, because we sort of achieved that with all the bands, at one point or another. So again, what we're doing with Sinsaenum is just very honest. If we were trying to fish for like fucking, I don't know, to get like views and whatnot, we would do a cover of a famous songs, or and turn it into metal, or just like make songs that would definitely have a format that would go on radio and whatnot, and we don't do any of that. So at least we can look at ourselves in the mirror and just play the music that we like, and I guess that's important these days.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that, and that's why I appreciate so much that you guys were able to push the boundaries so much more with this album. Even if it feels like a natural progression, just like the fact that you are able to incorporate these different styles, different tempos, being able to do all these different things with this new album, because it really shows that you guys want to make the music that you want to make, rather than feeling like you have to be forced to, like you said, having to play a cover of a song that you may not even enjoy, but will get a lot of mainstream attention, or just writing in styles of music that you don't want to do.
Exactly. Yeah, we know what we're talking about. No, I mean, that's not what I want to do. And like you said, like the new album shows that definitely we take the opposite road. And I think it pays in the end. I'm sure that people can feel when something's honest and not like preconceived, radio marketing bullshit, whatever. I do see that, like every now and then, some bands that are getting famous overnight, and you go like, whatever. But so what we do is just like very, very honest, very far from like any sort of like commercial, idea or whatnot. We want to make a long song that's very slow and slightly out of tune. Let's fucking do it. We want to say. It's funny because with that being said, I had to send a song back in studio so that we could be played in the US. So I don't know if the song ended up on the radio, but we had to do a radio edit of Final Resolve and put a beep on the word bullshit, which I found was fucking hilarious in 2018. But you can't say bullshit on a song. But here we go. And so I thought that was pretty funny. But that's it's the label that asked me to do that. So I was like, all right, okay, let's do this. Why not? But I found that was pretty funny. So instead of sort of like replacing the word by another, or just like doing a special effect on it, I just made like a beep, just like in 1990, like when I discovered Guns N' Roses with Live at the Ritz, and they were beeping all the every time he was saying the F word, and so I thought that was pretty funny in 2018 that you still have to do that, but that's life.
Yeah, and over here in North America, it is getting a little more lax when it comes to that, especially when it comes to TV, for example, like that's able to be able to said more. But I know in radio, it's still a little more archaic when it comes to that. So hopefully in the future that'll change. But I haven't heard that particular version of Final Resolve yet. So when I do check that out, it's just I know I'm gonna have a little bit more of a smile now when I listen to it, and knowing that you had that particular beep in mind.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely like I thought, let's embrace the fact that I have to censor a word. in 2018 with everybody being, having access to internet porn and whatnot, and yet we have to go beep for a boo thing. I don't know if is it a podcast? So do you have to beep my words as well?
No, I do not. You can be as free and open as you want to.
All right, okay. Come, shit, fuck, anal sex. No, all right, okay, no. I think that's funny and hypocritical, very, to have to beep the word bullshit in 2018. Honestly, I was like, fuck, really? Do we really have to do that? But yeah, I don't know if it's gonna. Again, if at the end of the day, if it helps, people to hear that and go, like, oh, okay, I want to discover more, and I want to, and then it helps them to discover like a style of music which is not, really out there anymore, or has never been really because it has to stay on the ground. If that helps, then I can survive a little beep every now and then.
Yeah, and it just reminds me of course, decades ago when the parental advisory sticker was just like so prevalent when it came into heavier music, and that just made people want to go out and check out that music more. They wanted to check out like why it has this kind of sticker on it, whether it be the artwork or the lyrics or whatever the case is. So even in the fact in 2018, it's like I can still see that happening where it's just like one little beep, they're gonna want to go out and hear like the real version of it, and then they're gonna want to go out and check out the full album.
Yeah. I mean, parental visually, lyrics or artwork. I think Outward had that for Cannibal Corpse too, but mutilated. And I think it was just like, it defeats the purpose of just like, oh no, don't. It's just like when you tell a kid, when you're a kid and your parents say, don't do this, well, it's fucked. Because, they're already like, they open the Pandora's box. If something's it's forbidden, and or at least I was like that, but I think all the kids are like that. It's definitely you want to do it. So in a way, it's fun to put a beep or to put a sticker that says this is very bad, because that's what makes you want to fucking discover what's bad about it. So actually, beep is a very good idea. Maybe the next album will be an entire. We'll release like a censored version with an entire beep so people check out and have to find the real deal. Who knows?
Now, I'm just thinking about that, and it's just like, even though it can be taken as absurd, I do love the idea of doing that. Just like I mentioned before, just like hearing that version of it makes you want to go out and hear the real version and then check out the full album. So it's like if that does happen with the next Sinsaenum release, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that would be like a lot of effort, like to release just an album that's just in a kind of beat, so you have a second version. But I mean, if we have the budget, if the label is happy with that, then we can probably work on this. I'll try to remember the idea.
and right with that, I think that's a fantastic note to end on. And thank you so much for taking the time to be able to talk to me about everything that's going on with Sinsaenum, and of course talking about Repulsion for Humanity coming out the 10th of August through earMUSIC. I really love what's going on with this band. I love the fact that you guys have been able to progress the way that you have, being able to show off all these different sides while still maintaining the integrity of the band. I can't wait for other people to be able to check out the songs that I have and being able to see their responses to it. And I just loved getting your insight into everything, even with the amount of hatred that's going on in the world, and all the righteous hatred that's going on for it. It's great to be able to have this kind of great conversation about everything that's going on.
Well, thank you very much for your enthusiasm and for the kind words. And I'm looking forward to sometime playing in the US, and hopefully we'll catch up and we can have a drink together and talk with beeps in between.
Oh, definitely take you up on that. I mean, be it with Dragonforce, be it with Sinsaenum, I mean, whatever the case is, the next time I get the opportunity, I'd love to be able to do that with you.
Sure, man. Right on. Thank you very much for everything.